Doing all of this and doing, you know, this is just, it's a lot, but I'm gonna get it done. I'm a one-man wrecking crew. Boom, let's do this. Hey guys, just real quick before the video gets started, just wanted to say this video is sponsored by Skillshare. If you don't know what Skillshare is, just here's a quick word about them and what they can do for you.
So happy to be working with Skillshare yet again. It is an online learning community where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Why haven't people done more of this? I don't understand. There are so many class topics from illustration, fine art, film and video, marketing, productivity, web development, different classes, options, ideas that you can get into with Skillshare. Guys, check out my new website. Do you think I learned how to do all that my own? No, I didn't. Skillshare helped me out with that. I worked on some new logo designs, graphic design. Skillshare helped me with that. There are so many things that Skillshare helped me to do. The best part is, the first 1,000 to click the link in the description below get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. It is a free trial. You get to try it out for free. After your trial is over, it is less than $10 a month. I know it's worth it. I use Skillshare and I know you guys will use Skillshare as well. Click that link in the description below and let's get started. All right, everybody, so this video is about the electrical. I stopped time-lapsing a lot of the stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Having a camera and a time-lapse while it's going is slightly nerve-wracking to me, only because I've only personally done electrical once, and that was in my first van. And to be honest with you, I didn't 100% do it. My dad helped me out with it a lot. We spent like a week kind of like figuring things out because wire sizes and fuses and bus bars and things like that, just a lot happening there. I'm a lot more educated in that. In my second van, I paid Tiny Watt Solar to do my entire electrical system. This time I wanted to do it myself. It's not like that I can't do it. Of course I can do it. With the camera and the time lapse, it's just, I put it this way. I did a time lapse of putting all this together and I was making small, minor mistakes and I was getting mad at myself. I don't know, it was because of knowing that the time lapse was happening and me rushing in my mind, or it was playing mind tricks on me. So there's gonna be a lot that's not gonna be time lapse and I'm just gonna talk about it instead. This is 1/2-inch marine grade plywood with a white paint with a protection. And then on the other side, I'll show you is bamboo veneer that I treated the marine grade plywood and then I put the bamboo veneer on it. This is just a treated 3/4 inch marine grade plywood, which is where my battery's gonna sit on. Right here is the only area that I have to work with to fit DC to DC charger, charge controller, all of my fuses or fuse holders, 2 distribution blocks, positive and negative, a massive 120 amp breaker, and obviously it's like a Blue Sea, you know, fuse block. This is just a package of heat shrink wrap, which is nice to have. The battery sits high because there's a wheel well like right here and it comes within like an inch. So I had to lift the battery up. I'll swing around real quick so you guys can see. This is the bamboo side. After I stuck the bamboo veneer onto the marine grade plywood, I realized I screwed up, but it's not that big a deal because there's a big refrigerator right here. I wanted the bamboo going this direction. As you can see, the grain goes this way. Whatever, I'm gonna make it work. Maybe I could do it later or, do differently. I still need to Sikaflex all of the edges. So I'm gonna put a Sikaflex, but I want it to be perfect, even though there is no such thing as perfection. Yeah, and then I'm gonna get started on the second, thing here, which is gonna be a pain. I hope I have enough 80/20. I don't think I do, to be quite honest with you. I have a lot to do still. I'm giving myself a 3-week time schedule, and I don't think I'm gonna get it done in 3 weeks, but I'm gonna try like heck. Let's see how the rest of, I guess today and probably tomorrow and probably the day after go. During all of this, I have 2 tours scheduled. I have a very important business call scheduled. I have a second, not as important, but still important business call. So I have 2 business calls. Not consulting, more actually setting up future videos. And then I have another tour from a girl that's driving down from Washington. Doing all of this and doing, this is just, it's a lot, but I'm gonna get it done. I'm a one-man wrecking crew. Boom. Let's do this. All right, guys, update. I'm about 40, 50% done with the wiring of all of this. As you can see, I put in the DC to DC charger right here. It's made by Victron. It's called a Orion. And then I have the charge controller also made by Victron. The difficulty of all of this is just wire management. The wiring diagram is, I wouldn't say it's easy. It's like following a recipe, like a cooking recipe. You can go step by step by how to do everything, but laying it all out is really the difficult part to it. The charge controller is actually hooked up. It has power. My 120 amp breaker is actually set off right now. If I was time-lapsing this, you would have seen a spark. Just a small spark, it's not a big deal, it's low voltage, but it just, startled me for a second. What I was saying before was, laying out everything that is, it's not gonna be super complicated. That's really what the name of the game is here. 2 more 40 amp fuses that I gotta put in. I got a 7 amp fuse that I gotta put in. And I've got, obviously, my Blue Sea distribution. That's gonna be going down here. Also, maybe down here you can see I've got 2 distribution blocks. Those are like bus bars, I guess you could also. Orion does actually make a pretty good one. Light Harvest Solar does swear by these, so I am gonna go with them. I do wanna walk outside with you guys because I have a friend that's visiting and she's not gonna like the camera. Okay. Caden's visiting and I'm gonna show you guys a couple things. And actually my rooftop tent is open because she wanted to see it open. And she actually brought a cool van for me to tour. But I've got my rooftop tent is open, and check this out. Desert Armor did send me a new controller for lights. You may not be able to see them, but I do have lights inside the tent, as well as, oh well, underneath the tent. But you have to actually flick a switch on the controller to put it on the outside, I believe. Yeah, there they go. They're on the outside now. So that's all on the controller. That's pretty cool. I like how that all is set up. If I haven't released the tour of Caden's van yet, she has a storyteller. It's unlocked. Oh my, why don't you just ask me for help? Guys, she's literally has a shucks and shelf. Look at her. And you're putting this big old shelf up there.
Actually, you'll be very proud of me. Look, so
I am very proud of you. Hold on.
We did not even have to undo these bolts.
Oh, good.
So dope. So this is why I love their product, because all you have to do is take, okay, so this knob right here. Yeah. It was, okay, so it originally sits like this, right?
Oh. So
all you got to do is push in, because, Chris, the owner, and I are friends.
Oh, so she talked to Chris is what happened. All right, I did not know this. I didn't
But
realize
how
it.
cool, because then you don't have to take this whole panel apart.
So much better. Okay,
I love it. And so, yeah, and then so I'll put the hook
And then you did
back.
that. So she put in the 4 brackets, which is really nice. And then I opened the door up, and this girl is like holding up this shelf. It's not heavy. It's all aluminum.
It's awesome.
I didn't realize you had those.
That you can attach.
That's an L-track down there, and there's a whole bunch of L-track attachments. Shout out to Shuxon. Anyways, this is her storyteller, but we're gonna do a tour of it separately with Kate, and we're actually gonna do it tomorrow morning. She's literally camping out in front of my house, so it is nice to have friends that you're able to plug into.
That's right. I'm stealing power, stealing water, doing.
Did you steal water?
No, not yet. Oh. But I will. But I will.
All right, stealing my water too. Not a big deal. I don't care. I think you're really up here. You're going skiing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't like cameras, guys. She does not like cameras. You are a traveler, you have the storyteller, but you're also doing another van yourself.
I am.
I guess doesn't want to get into that. Okay. You're building out an entire van herself, and then you might be starting some bigger things in the future. She knows what she's doing. She is a professional house flipper. Can I say that?
Yeah.
How many houses have you flipped?
Too many to count.
Really? Has it been that many?
I have done this since I was 17.
Let me finish up the video, guys, with the end of the electrical. I'm about 50% done, so.
Sweet, we were both productive today.
We are trying to be productive today before the sun sets. Maybe we'll both go get a beer, or you don't drink beer, but we'll get drinks afterwards.
Some wine. I mean,
wine,
hey,
whiskey.
Would you like a White Claw? We can do White Claws. It's in the refrigerator right here.
Oh yeah, like, stealing my power.
That's right.
All right, we can do White Claws, sure. Important part to wiring: heat shrinking. Cut the wire to the size that you need. After you crimp, one of the
lug nuts on there on the wire. I bought heat shrink. You can buy it at pretty much any hardware store. Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's, doesn't matter. Or I bought mine off Amazon, it doesn't matter. And then you get a heat gun and you literally just, you want to make sure that the reason for heat shrink is literally just covering up the exposed wire. After it heats up, it just covers all the exposed wire, and nothing can get in the way of that now. It's literally a very good safety method. You should heat shrink all of your wire exposures, as well as when I'm wiring up the actual, setup. When I'm running lights and when I'm running, to my switches, etc. and so forth. If you have butt splice connectors, try to get the ones that are heat shrink already made as a butt splice, and then you can literally just put one into the other. After you crimp it, you can use a heat gun to shrink it so there's no debris or anything that could hit those exposed wires, and that's how you prevent fires, everybody. Some parts that I bought were off of Amazon as well are crimpers, big wire crimpers. These are for the big lugs like this. So I have 4, 6, 8, 10 wire all in this entire setup. This will crimp all of those. If I was to do other crimping that I'm going to be running for, again, lights, switches, all that stuff, I would use these guys, also off Amazon, 20 bucks. I love them. They are for this kind of wire right here, which I have that will be running through everything, and that's for the butt splices. Legitimately has color codes 1, 2, and 3, and it's so easy because all you have to do is that'll crimp it, squeeze it, and it'll loosen back up. When we start doing that, again, I gotta wait until I build out the rest of the stuff. I just wanted to get this all set up, so it is a monstrosity. Now I'm gonna finish off this video. This is the electrical setup. Again, this is a very simple, well, nothing's really simple, but this is a little bit easier setup than what most people are accustomed to. What is missing from my setup compared to like what you see in vans is a inverter. And with the inverter, you have to have a little bit thicker gauge wire, and you're probably gonna have to go through a shunt or like a massive fuse. I think it's like a 300 amp fuse that you have to go from like the positive distribution into the inverter. I don't know that offhand. I'm sorry, I'm still teaching myself electrical during this process. This is my setup now. It is a DC only setup with only one battery. It is a 100 amp hour battery, and there's only very minute things that I have left. This 30 amp fuse just isn't bolted down yet. I needed this fuse for when I hook up my solar panel to the rooftop tent. I have just placed an order for it, and it's coming in, and it's a company that I'm extremely excited about. Wait until you guys see that. Wire from the solar panel is gonna have to come in, and I have my MC4 cable right here, ready to go. And I've got plenty of it, by the way. I just haven't figured out exactly how I'm gonna do it. Either I'm gonna drill down through this wood here, and it's gonna come up, and I'm gonna have that MC4 cable come down, and I'll probably put some sort of like temporary contraption or some sort of holder where when the solar panel's not plugged in, you'll see what I'm talking about later on. I also need to hook up the DC to DC charger to the alternator. So I have one port missing, which is the positive input, and that will go, again, these will be on quick connects, and that'll also go through that same hole that I put through here, and I'll be able to connect it to the car alternator or the battery, bring it in, and it'll be a quick connect, just like an MC4 cable, but it'll be a little bit different. It'll be like an Anderson plug, pretty much. And that'll be able to just plug in, boom, boom. It's watertight. I actually bought them. They're pretty cool, what I did see and what I'm gonna be using. I want to charge it while I'm driving, and I don't need solar to charge it. I can literally just plug in that Anderson cable or Anderson plug, and bada bing, bada boom, I got myself charging a 100 amp hour battery. It's literally would take not very long to charge this from even a dead state. Don't need a ton of power. It's just nice to have the emergency alternator charging capability, solar capability. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Like I said, the distribution blocks are down here. You know, it was kind of a Tetris-y moment for me to figure all this out. Hope you enjoyed the quick electrical video on kind of how to do this kind of stuff. But Kaden just texted me and said she made pizza for us. So I'm gonna go have that pizza with her. I'm a big guy and I like my pizza. First time I've really done a full-on wiring job of everything. It actually wasn't as hard as I thought. I'll be honest with you. Tedious. It took me all day. Committing to making certain cuts. It's scary. It is scary. I'll see you guys next time.